This is Tusculum College football, and this is the Jerry Odom Show. The Jerry Odom Show is brought to you in part by your Greenville Light and Power System, serving Greenville and Greene County since 1947. Sodexo, proud food supplier of Tusculum College. By Creekside Markets, stop in and pick up a Hunt Brothers pizza today. By Premier Transportation, the official bus provider for Tusculum College Athletics. And brought to you in part by Comcast. The Jerry Odom Show begins now.
And we welcome you into the Jerry Odom Show. The Tusculum Pioneers take a 302-mile trek to take on the Pembroke Braves, two of the top defenses in terms of gaining turnovers, and the Pioneers would gain 5 en route to their 31-10 win against the Braves of UNC Pembroke. Hello again, everyone. I am Brian Stayton for the Jerry Odom Show, to be joined by Pioneer coach Jerry Odom coming up. It was a Pioneer team that was in desperate need of a victory. For the last time this year, the Pioneers would be playing out of conference, but a primer to get ready for the South Atlantic Conference play. The Pembroke Braves stood in the way. Never a great place to play, Grace Johnson Stadium for the Pioneers. Their history would say they're going to give up 59 points a game. The last 2 times they have played there, 60 and 58 points allowed. The last time they did play the Braves, Deion Hicks was the hero from Kyle Dickey in the corner of the end zone in overtime as the Pioneers knocked off the Braves by a final score of 20-17 back in 2014.
We're in the first overtime, and this is the final play if the Pioneers cannot convert. The blitz is coming. It's picked up. Dickey's going to throw it deep for Deion Hicks. He goes up, and he's caught it! He's caught it! He's caught it! Deion Hicks caught it! Touchdown! Game over! Pioneers win!
Randy Richards, he's got a chance, or Shane Richards, a chance to build a young Pembroke team. They've got a big quarterback. They've got a bruising running game. They've got a solid defensive line, but they have been amiss a bit in the offensive line, and the turnovers have not helped their cause so far this year. Because of that, the Pioneers utilized great field position throughout the game last Saturday night en route to their 31-10 win. Alex Ogle threw 2 touchdowns, rushed for another, while the Pioneer defense pitched a shutout in the second half as the Pioneers went wire to wire in their 31-10 non-conference win against Pembroke. Tusculum evens their record at 2-2, also evening the series with the Braves to 2-2. The Pioneers forced 5 turnovers, including one on the opening kickoff, which led to an early touchdown to pace the Pioneer cause. Alex Ogle went 14 of 25, 198 yards. Sophomore running back Maxwell Joseph, 69 yards, 18 carries, including his 6th touchdown of the season. It's a Pioneer defense that was very, very stingy from the onset. They didn't allow many yards in the air, didn't allow many yards on the ground, held a team under 200 yards of offense and under 100 yards of running on the day as well. Another Pioneer great game defensively. Got to tackle probably a little bit better according to their coach, but their offense making those strides, and Brian Ferguson, the offensive coordinator, dialing up yet another solid game for the Tusculum Pioneers. For Tusculum College, they might have just gave themselves some momentum as they head into the South Atlantic Conference when they take on the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears for their next game. But before we concentrate on what the Bears are doing, let's take a look at what these Pioneers are doing. They've won 5 of their last 8. And when we come back, Pioneer coach Jerry Odom will break down the UNC Pembroke win. That's when the Jerry Odom Show continues.
Your Greenville Light and Power System and electrical distributor of TVA, serving Greenville and Greene County since 1945. Your Greenville Light and Power is dedicated to excellence in service and reliability. Visit online at glps.net.
There it is.
There it is. All right, good deal. And we welcome you back into the Jerry Odom Show. The Tusculum Pioneers defeat the Pembroke Braves this past Saturday by a score of 31-10. Joined by Pioneer coach Jerry Odom, whose Pioneers take the 302-mile trek. I know probably a lot better coming back on Saturday night.
Yeah.
But you guys go down there, and where things could have been disastrous, you turned that really around, and I guess where life gives you lemonade, you made some lemonade because on that first offensive drive, you took control of the game.
Well, I think our offensive line came out, played well. I thought Brian, again, called a good game. I don't think Brian's called a bad game yet. I think we just were off last week a little bit at quarterback and wide receiver when you go back and look at the tape. But I thought we were able to, between Maxwell and Lorenzo Pratt, kind of set some things. Maxwell was getting 5-6 yards a gain. Pratty, was quick, quick as a hiccup in there, and I think the O-line did a nice job against a pretty good defense. Yeah. You look at their defense; they've got good statistics. They played against some good people, and really even Katamba didn't move it great on them. Katamba's defense set them up several times, and special teams, kind of like we did. You look at our offense, and they're like, oh, they only had 300-something yards. Well, when you only have to drive at 35, 40 yards, that certainly helps.
You had Jay Boyd a 65-yard return, Evan Altizer a 45-yard return. Oh, by the way, 5 turnovers.
Yeah, we had a pick run down to the 35, 40. So yeah, I think we're one of the top teams in the country now in turnovers. Got to keep that going. That's something we talk about each week. We want to create at least 3 turnovers. Our whole thing is to create havoc, stop the run and create havoc on third down, and we're starting to get better at it. I felt like the Limestone game second half, we kind of put that behind us. They tried some of that stuff early on, and we stoned it pretty good, and they didn't really come back to it. In fact, they gave us a couple different RPO looks that we hadn't seen. We had to kind of coach up, but once we did, it wasn't too big a deal. I thought offensively, Alex drove the bus. He didn't do anything to hurt us. Made the throws he needed to make, stood in the pocket. We left some points out there, though. We had 2 touchdowns called back. I felt bad for Lorenzo Pratt. Makes a great cut. As soon as he got into the secondary, I'm like, nah, they're not catching him. No. And, so he got a 55-yard run taken off the board. And then we had another one, a play I put in last week. Me and Ferg, they trade so much. We wanted to get we're working on some different unbalanced things, and Ferg and I talked about some different things. And I said, man, this would really be hard. Sure enough, Evan Altizer gets to the corner, but we're not, we had a young wide receiver that wasn't on the line of scrimmage. Right. And he's got to be on the line of scrimmage for us to be able to bring that guy in motion. So
it didn't work.
Yeah, it didn't work. We got called back. It worked, but we got called back.
Beautifully.
Yes, it was blocked about as well as you could. Lorenzo Pratt might have had the best cut of the year on that play. But anyway, I think it shows that we are able to get in and out of some different things. And hopefully, I told the kids, honestly, that I was disappointed, not in them, but in the people around not the program. Don't misunderstand, but like the noise in the system. Right. That people had jumped off our bandwagon because we lost an overtime game and a game by 1 point to what you're finding out are going to be 2 pretty solid football teams. So. I mean, when you start looking at what's happening, and we should have won them both. We should be sitting here 4-0 and everybody hunky-dory, but it didn't. We're 2-2. But I still think there's not a team in the SAC conference that we can't roll out there, and if we prepare correctly, Tuesday through Thursday, that we can play with everybody on our schedule, and we can win every game left on our schedule. It's just up to us. Hopefully stay healthy, keep growing as a football team, keep playing physical, and then go from there.
See how the Tusculum Pioneers got to 2-2 on the season against the Pembroke Braves. Again, a 302-mile trek on the way to Pembroke, North Carolina. It's a Pioneer football team playing Pembroke for the 4th time. They have never won in Pembroke. As a matter of fact, Tusculum, not Jerry Odom, Tusculum has allowed 59 points a game to the Pembroke Braves in their other 2 meetings to Pembroke, North Carolina. Not the case on this particular day. It was a Pioneer team that was very successful as far as their offense. Their special teams came out just a little bit, I guess, a question mark, had a huge return on the special teams on the opening play that we're going to see here. But Gabe Schillings, it's something you said, we've really been working on this with him. He comes up with the big play.
That was a joke. We did a terrible job. They did a nice job. This is the exact return we knew they were coming with. We did a bad job on the backside, but Gabe put his hat right on the ball. Looked like we had been working on it. That's I was obviously taking credit. No, Gabe did a nice job. The thing that Gabe got to do a better job, if he kicks it farther left, it helps us a little bit, but I told him he made up for it. So we come out, throw a little stick route right off the bat. I think that's Connor Johnston. Good throw and catch. Double trade the tight end. Got Gary Berklander in. He's getting back healthy now. He's a freshman we're really excited about. Maxwell does a good job sticking it in there for about 6-yard gain on the outside zone. And I really like this package, this 12 personnel, 13 personnel package we're working with. There's Gary getting his first catch of the year. He's going to be a really good player. People are going to enjoy him for the next 4 years. We really are excited about him. Come back, throw a 3-step. Got to catch this, though. It's right on the money. We had 2 or 3 drops, but, again, good throw, smart play. Come back, take what they gave us. I think it made it to where it was like a 4th and 5, 4th and 5, 4th and 6 here. I told Ferg to go for it. We're kind of in that weird zone in the kicking game where it was maybe a little too far. Great throw and catch right here. Perfect stepping up. Great catch right there by Evan Gates, who was a captain for us this week. He takes it in for the score. Great way to start the game. And then we get the 2-point play.
Yeah,
you didn't put it.
Nice. I didn't put it in.
Oh,
I didn't put it in. You had it was 4 on 2. You had to snap it.
Well, and that's what you're doing is for the numbers. So they come out the first play here. We're in quarters. Got to get a better job by our safety 36 there. Malik's got to do a better job of seeing run pass options so we can bracket that guy. But we're doing a lot more up front now. I think the kids enjoy what we're doing up front. Right here, JQ I told him doesn't like getting sacks because if he stays in the B gap, which you're supposed to, we get a sack. Great play by Malik to get him down. But they do get a first right there. And I just like how fast we're playing right here. When you start seeing linebackers, we're pressing gaps, we're playing fast, and we're seeing pulls, and we're starting to play the way I want us to play. Come with a little sprint out action. Jay Boyd's right there. I thought the guy was going to tip it to him. We got to do a better job of the Sam linebacker on that sprint out, pushing for width. We'll see that again this week to take away that route. Then we come out with a little kind of a funky zone blitz that we like to do. Got pressure, and the nose guard fell down, but then they almost threw one to us. I don't think he really knew where to go with it. So we're able to get the punt, get a nice return, or at least get the good field position here about the 40-yard line. And we work the flat, and then I think that's Keandre Banks, and Alex throws a nice hole shot right there. They go on cover 2 on us right here. Then we get Lorenzo Pratt coming right here, downhill. Great block. I still think the hold was a little touchy, but right there you see Lorenzo hits this thing, and when he makes that guy miss, I'm like, there's no way they're catching that guy. But they called holding on us right there on Big Schmo on 72, so that kind of raced one of our touchdowns that we would like to have back. Good block by Boney. Well blocked play, little ISO play to the backside off of 21 personnel. Come back out, throw a little 5-step. They get pressure on us right here.
Yeah.
They brought the house. We didn't do a good job of passing it off. Corey Gillum started his first game, and they got a sack on us right there.
They go quick here. I just showed that offensive series to show that we had a touchdown called back, and then they go quick. Just 3 plays really quick.
Yeah, 3 idiot. Yeah, this is where I got to get my offense, and you can tell we're still young. We miss a tackle right here in cover 2. They break a 40-yard run on us. Then we come back and we got a blitz, and we're supposed to come underneath everything in the split. You'll see Matt Simon up the field. He can't be up the field. He's got to be flat underneath it. Then we miss 2 or 3 tackles, and they get a touchdown. And I'm like, okay. So we go over, we get them settled down. I think you saw one other time I called a timeout when they started a drive because I feel like when our guys' heads aren't right, we don't play very well. Right. So I kind of reined them in, and we went 3 and out after that.
Right.
So sometimes it's starting momentum. Great job blocking here. It's Boney and Kesterson on the double team. Good job by Shippey getting vertical. I thought Jay was going to go to the house right here. We give him a hard time. If you were faster, you would have. But he gets it all the way down to the 25-yard line. No penalty. Great job right there by the special teams. I thought we won that game with special teams. Pratt, again, sticking it in there for about a 4-yard gain on the outside zone. I think Pratt and Maxwell give us kind of that thunder lightning thing, and I really like the way they play. This is the other play. We watch Pratt's cut right here. That's how you cut somebody, and we end up going in. The issue is we got Rodnell. He's looking at me right now probably because I'm not very happy. He didn't step on the line of scrimmage, and we had too many guys in the backfield. So that's, again, 2 touchdowns we got called back. But, again, really good blocking at the point of attack. I tell you, you got to give that O-line. They're young. They're not perfect, but they're getting better. And Nathan Kobe is playing a bunch for us since Herring got hurt. Had to get have a surgery. I don't know when he's going to get back or if. We hadn't really decided what we're going to do there. Come back, throw the ball again. The little stick route right there. They come off of it. I think that's a good decision by Alex. Just take what they give you, stick it on, and let's get vertical yards right now. Come back with the same concept right here. Throw it again. And get on back down there.
Convert on third.
On third down to get the first down. right here. And then I believe right here, is this where we punch it in?
Yeah.
Good job on the down block by Corey. Like to see Boney square that guy up a little bit, but I don't think they ever get Maxwell even on the ground.
No.
You know, I mean, and that's the beauty of having a big guy that's 235 pounds back there. And then you got Pratt, who's only 5'8", but he's about 190 pounds. He's a little square, 185 pounds. Come after, they punt it. I thought we did a great job. When you watch, even 35, that's a good decision not to make that play.
Right.
But now we're running past right there. This is called widening the hole. That's a good job right there, getting vertical by him, widening the hole. You're seeing he's picking up blocks as he goes. You look at the effort by all the guys right there. That's really, really good football.
Yep.
So we're starting to get them to buy into the special teams, and this is, we call it hidden yardage. There's a lot of hidden yardage in this game, probably hundreds of yards of hidden yardage. So again, we put our offense in a good situation, starting off at the 40, drop back, throw one, hit it. If he doesn't fall down, this is a touchdown.
Deshaun
scores. He just kind of tripped up his feet. You see he's disappointed right there. But again, good protection, good throw. Come back out, take what they give us, throw it to Maxwell on a little angle route. Smart play, 7-8 yard gain. I think we're starting to get better with that aspect of it. Of just, hey, take what they give you. Eventually it's going to be there. We're going to get what we want. Good fill by them on that one. I mean, it was a nice fill by the Mike linebackers. I thought we were going to walk in right there at that point. Then come back and again, kind of run the same play. I like to see Maxwell right here get his pads lower and punch that in. He's got he's a big guy, but I still want to see him run lower, and we're working on that every day. And then I thought we were in right here.
I thought you extended the ball.
He looked like the ball got across. They'd say no. So I'm like, we got a 6'4", 230-pound quarterback. We're going for it.
Yeah, fourth down, right.
And he's in easily there, and big, strong guy, and that's a big deal right there.
You make it 22-7 there, 9 plays, 32 yards. Take 5 minutes basically off of the clock. Convert twice on third down. One you don't, but you go for it on fourth. Give the ball to them. They don't get a great return. Actually, they start at the 12 after a penalty, so they start deep in their own territory.
Well, they did, and they complete a little seam route on us. Matt Simon's we had to do a better job at safety, but also Matt Simon's got to do a better job of helping out that safety in the seam.
Yeah.
I think Jay Boyd's got to do a better job staying inside leverage right there. Come back, get some pressure, and then we fall down. 45's going to make the play. We had something where we knew they wanted to go to the backside receiver, so we were kind of clamping it and doing some different things with it. Good job right here, though, and we end up causing another turnover and getting the turnover. And like I said, I think we're one of the tops in the country
now
right
you
now
are
doing
tops
that.
in the nation in turnovers gained. D. Alford is a ball hawk. We're going to see more about that with D. We go to the locker room leading this football game. They actually get a field goal right there at the end. So it's 22-10 going into the locker room. But you come out second half with the football on offense. And Maxwell didn't have a run longer than 11 yards, but he really set Ogle up with some time to pass.
Well, and I think, like I said, he's like having a tight end back there, pass protected. So it's hard to run him over.
Yeah.
If he's just, Maxwell still, he hadn't played football in a while. So even though he's a sophomore, he sat that year, so he's knocking the rust off too. But I thought this was a nice drive.
You called timeout here.
Called timeout. Great job right here. We had this, if you remember, open last week.
Yes.
And then we knew that if they went there and covered him, that they weren't going to have anybody for Gary in the coverage that they were in. And then you see Gary's a 6'2", 245-pound tight end, Bartram Trail guy out of St. Johns County near Jacksonville. And we really think highly of him. We think he's going to be a really good player.
It's a Pioneer team now leading at 28-10 in this football game. Defensively, you come out here just kind of putting the kibosh on it. You had a couple of more turnovers, but we're going to just focus on this. They were moving the football, but once again, you guys Leon Cunningham, to me, flew around the football all day.
I thought he had one of his best games right here. And you're going to see as a whole what you like, and I told this, we made a bunch of mistakes. And we're always going to, coach them up. It's all, for me, it's got to be perfect. But what you like, a lot of guys flying around. There's a lot of white jerseys all over the place. And when we play fast, it's funny, I'm watching other people on tape and everything. The one thing we tell them, I'm not coaching effort. You're not even getting out of here if there's not going to be effort.
Right.
And I think our kids have bought into that. Now, right there, if he cuts it back near sideline, I think he goes to the house, and because Josh Forrest was in position to block. But another great pick by D. Alford. When you can turn somebody over 6 times last week, 3 the week before, 5 this week, we're doing the right things. and we're making people earn their way down the field. Didn't give up a lot of explosion. The only time we give explosion plays, they got to score or got points out of it. So we've got to keep working on that. We know that's what Lenore Ryan's going to come out and do, is try to hit us with explosion plays with that big back and then that number 3 over the top and things like that. So we're excited for this next game. Let's just say that.
All right, some concerns I think for me is Sampson, the quarterback, was able to get free. You know, for a while there, we couldn't get hits in the backfield, and I don't know if it's because they blocked it well. We got so anxious to get into the backfield.
I think it had more to do with that. You know, our kids probably took their eyes off. You know, we talk about training our eyes a lot, Brian, and I think they did to a point, but then they got over aggressive. Kind of like that puppy that sees water over there and food, and he's like, "Can I go?" And you're like, "No," and he goes anyway. You know, I mean, that's kind of where we are because we got some young kids in there. And they threw a couple things on the RPO that we hadn't prepared for, so we had to fix that at halftime. But, you know, the one run he had, we just got out of our gap. Like I said, if JQ stays in his guy, I told him on Sunday, you don't like sacks, obviously. You know, he just kind of chuckled, and I said, you know, because if you stay in the B gap, you get sacked. The other time was on an RPO where they held the heck out of our Mike linebacker, but he didn't fit it right, and he knew it. And he really, when he doesn't fit it right, then Jake doesn't know how to fit it, and they end up getting a 15, 20-yard or 10-yard gain there. And then on that scramble, we had a bracket on the backside because they wanted to throw deep. So we double covered the guy. When we double covered them, they went 4-by-1, and we had a smush call on the backside, which basically not a smush, but it's just a game on the backside, and we fell down. If we don't fall down, it's probably a sack. So, you know, it's not perfect, but we held them under 300 yards. I think we talked about it before. If you hold a team under 300 yards, they were 2 for 10, I think, on third downs, 0 for 2 on 4, so really 2 for 14 on possession, extensions. Yeah. And when you do that, you win football games. You stop the run. They ran for 99 yards, on 27 carries or whatever, and you make them earn their way down the field. You're going to win more games. You're going to lose.
Well, the Tusculum Pioneers and the Pembroke Braves went into the game, 2 of the nation's top thieves, basically, and taking the ball away from the opposing offense. Tusculum did it 5 times against Pembroke. Pembroke did it 0 times against the Tusculum Pioneers. So a win not only on the scoreboard for the Pioneers, but a submission win, I think, for this Pioneer defense. Tusculum wins at 31-10. They go to 2-2 on the year. And coming up, they'll take on the LR Bears, and we get to be at home for a little while.
Wow.
We'll talk about our players of the week when we return, and we'll also return with Coach Jerry Odom as we talk about the LR Bears. That's when the Jerry Odom Show continues after this.
Sodexo, a world leader in food and facilities management services. Sodexo proudly serves Tusculum College and supports Pioneer football. Sodexo, making every day a better day. Premier Transportation. From the moment you step onto any of the motor coaches, it's clear they pay attention to details. They make sure you have the top-of-the-line amenities, the industry's most innovative technology, and the most advanced safety features to ensure every mile of your journey is a smooth one from coast to coast. The Premier Fleet. Escape the ordinary. The journey is half the fun. Premier Transportation, the official bus provider for Tusculum College Athletics.
And we welcome you back into the Jerry Odom Show. Tusculum knocking off Pembroke 31-10 this past Saturday. Let's take a look at our player profile, or our players of the week. On offense, we'll give this one the game ball this week to Lorenzo Pratt, a junior running back out of Cocoa, Florida, Iowa Western Community College transfer out of Cocoa High School as well. In the game, rushed just 13 times for 48 yards, but as you saw, did have a 52-yard touchdown call back in the game, or our offensive running game numbers are a whole lot better. On the year, 26 carries, right at 100 yards and a long of 18, and he did not play in the opening game against the North Greenville Crusaders. Our defensive player of the week is Lakeith Brown. He finished with 9 tackles and a tackle for loss. The senior has been steady all season long and throughout his senior career. The senior out of Athens, Georgia from Cedar Shoals High School has 273 career tackles, 8th all time, 26 for loss, 5 sacks, and 3 fumble recoveries. Our special teams player of the week this week is Leon Cunningham. He finished the day with 6 tackles and a tackle for loss. The junior transfer out of Hernando, Mississippi from Northwest Community College and Hernando High School on the season now with 13 tackles, a tackle for loss, and a pass breakup. Our call of the game comes from a guy playing in his first game. It was Ogle to Brooklander for a big score for the Pioneers.
Play action fake. Looking deep, got a man wide open. Brooklander at the 35. He needs a block, has it at the 30, 20, 10, 5, touchdown! Touchdown Pioneers! Touchdown Gary Brooklander, his first career, and the Pioneers extend the lead.
Our call of the game, Gary Brooklander, 56 yards from Alex Ogle. Ogle's second touchdown pass of the day. We break it down inside the numbers. Tusculum was outgained by first downs, 15-18 to the Braves, but Tusculum field position was steadily better because of their special teams and their defense. Tusculum ran for 111 yards, Pembroke 99. Tusculum threw for 198, Pembroke 191. Tusculum's defense holds Pembroke under 300 yards. I may have said under 200. It was under 300 yards on the day at 290. Tusculum's offense gaining 309 yards on 71 plays. They averaged just 4.4 yards a play, but they took what the Pembroke Brave defense gave them. Tusculum still had a high number of penalties, over 100 yards, 11 flags thrown against the Pioneers, and a decent punting day for Hunter Cantrell after a bad first punt, really responded, a 39.2-yard average, Pembroke averaging 34.2. Tusculum held on to the ball 35 minutes and 46 seconds to Pembroke's 24 minutes and 14 seconds, and inside the red zone, Tusculum 3 for 3, went 2 for 3 for touchdowns, and Pembroke finishing 1 for 1, just getting to the red zone on one occasion on the day. Tusculum Pioneers knocked off Pembroke 31-10. Gary Odom will join us when we return, and we'll talk about the Bears. That's when we return with more of the Jerry Odom Show.
Creekside Market has 3 locations in southern Greene County to serve. So while you're traveling to or from any game, stop by and pick up a Hunt Brothers Pizza for those football Friday nights or Saturday afternoons. Creekside Market just off the 107. Locations on the Asheville Highway, Camp Creek, and the Irwin Highway. Creekside Markets in Greene County.
And we welcome you back into the Jerry Odom Show, where the Pioneers knocked off Pembroke 31-10. We'll turn the page. 2-2 Pioneer team taking on an LR Bear team that gave Catawba, I think, some fits as far as their defense was concerned. I think Catawba scored the points they wanted to score in this football game. LR is a team that has beaten a Will Hunter-less North Greenville University Crusader team.
That is correct.
Put that in. So a quality team that's going to come in here once the cream of the crop in the South Atlantic Conference. They've fallen on a little hard time here over the last couple of years, but there's a team on the rise. What scares you about the Bears?
Well, they did give Wingate a tough game last week. I don't think there's any doubt about that.
Wingate.
Yeah, Wingate. But they gave them a tough game. They look bigger and more athletic. They're a little bit like us on offense too. They're 12 personnel, 2 tight end, 1 back set. They got a really good running back. I mean, I tell you what. Let's just cut it off. They whooped us last year. They made us look terrible on the road. They made us look. They just whooped us. I mean, there ain't no way to say it. And I told the guys, we've already talked about these guys. These guys got talked about on Saturday, because when a team embarrasses you the way we were embarrassed, and then tells you about it, pretty, as you shake their hands, you don't forget those things, and it's ingrained in me for sure. Yeah. So we've got to do a good job against them. They're a good football team. I don't care what their record is. It's a good football team. Number 5 ran up and down the field on us last year. We've got to do a better job of tackling. We did a poor job of tackling last year. We were putrid on offense last year. That's the only way to say it. And part of that is, I think they had, defensively we got put in a lot of bad situations, but they ran the ball. The last thing they do is run a 52-yard, the dagger in your heart, they break a 50-yard run. And we're in it, and it's 24-3, but they're battling. I think they just finally wore us down. But we didn't do a lot of things well on defense either. It wasn't an offensive fall. Special teams, we dropped 1 on the 3. I mean, we're a better football team, but we've got to go out and show it. We've got to go out and prove it. I think their head coach is an unbelievable offensive coordinator. Does a great job when you look at his concepts. Yeah, and you know me. I'll tell you if I don't think it's great, but it's good. You know, a lot of tight end trade, motion stuff, a lot of similar, like I said, similar to what we do. You're going to see a lot of different concepts, a lot of different packages, a lot of different personnel groupings. They're going to try to get guys in different situations. They're going to get you working one way and boot you back the other, bring wide behinds. They'll try to screen wide behinds. There's all kind of things that they do. So give them a lot of credit. Coach's son at quarterback, so, you know, obviously he knows the system pretty well. Got a really fast wide receiver, number 3, that beat us for a touchdown last year. He's a transfer from Concord. And I'm looking at him like, wait a minute. This guy's a senior, and it says junior on the thing. Well, I guess our game was the last game he played because he got some medical red shirt or something because it was the 3rd game. I don't know. But he's back for 2 more. Great. But they've gotten 2 real big tight ends that they like a lot. It really, I think, on the defense side of the ball, it's going to come down to controlling the rushing game. You're not stopping 5, but controlling the rushing game, and then make sure that when we do pressure, we do it smartly. We don't give up explosion plays, and then give the illusion. You know, don't always pressure, pull pressure back, give the illusion of pressure. Sometimes bring the house. I've got to do a good job of calling the game on Saturday night. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to study a lot this week because I do have a tremendous amount of respect for what they do on offense. Defensively, they're playing a lot better. They're more physical. A couple of linebackers, one linebacker for sure I know that we recruited out of high school. I think is a good football player. They're solid on the back end, playing a lot of 3-roll, 6-roll, a little bit of 2-man on 3rd down. You're getting some. It looks like they're carrying. You know, might be playing even some what we call rip Liz or 3-carry coverage and stuff also. So we've got our work cut out for us. They do have 2 freshmen. They have a freshman kicker and punter, kind of like they're a little bit like that with us in the kicker phase. But like I said, I'm excited about it. We need everybody. Please, I'm begging you, come out to the game. It's a 6 o'clock game. It's going to be a beautiful night. I already look. It's 72 degrees. It's going to be sunny. It's we need your help. We need that 12th 12th man Pioneer Nation behind us because it's going to be a big game. It's going to be a hard-fought game. These next 2 are huge for me. It's LR and Mars Hill, 2 teams that we lost to last year, and 2 teams that we can't lose to if we're going to have a chance to get in the mix in here. And I think we got a chance. It's just going to play the games, give them all the credit in the world. They're good football teams, and we're going to have to go out and take it. They're just not going to give it to you. That's just how things play out in the South Atlantic Conference. I've learned out from last year is each week's going to be tough, and I'm excited. I really am. I was kind of ready to get past that Pembroke game just because I was like, man, long trip. And they're beat up. I mean, we did probably what we should have done to them or worse. Right. They didn't move it a lot. I think they're solid on defense, but they're so beat up in the offensive line. I really like their coach. I think he's a good guy, but I feel bad for him because I've been in those situations before, like last year, that he just doesn't have what he wants to be able to do. So I think I was proud of our guys for taking care of their business. Not a lot of people picked us. I saw that. We were the underdog going in that game. That stuff kind of makes me laugh. I'm like, how many people are D2 prognosticators? They really know what's going on in our program. But anyway, it was a good win.
It was a great win for the Pioneers to even the record at 2-2. They'll take on an LR Bears team that will be looking to continue maybe a winning streak against the Tusculum Pioneers. They'll try to stop that and squash it on Saturday night. 6 o'clock kickoff. As Coach said, it's going to be a glorious night. For those in the North Carolina area, you can watch the game on My 40, and that'll be a television game for you to watch there. For those of you not necessarily in that area or that coverage map, you can always tune in on the Pioneer Sports Network, and that's AM 1450 WSMG, also online through TusculumPioneers.com on the YouTube channel as well. Appreciate you tuning in to the Jerry Odom Show. So for head coach Jerry Odom, for all of those behind the scenes, including Nathan Humbert, I'm Brian Stayton, wishing Pioneer Nation a great week.
This has been the Jerry Odom Show. The Jerry Odom Show is brought to you in part by your Greenville Light and Power System, serving Greenville and Greene County since 1947. Sodexo, proud food supplier of Tusculum College. By Creekside Markets. Stop in and pick up a Hunt Brothers pizza today. By Premier Transportation. the official bus provider for Tusculum College Athletics. And brought to you in part by Comcast. Join us next time for more Pioneer football on The Jerry Odom Show.